Good morning, friends. Welcome to a very exciting day at Honey Apple Farm, our garlic harvest. So I have never grown garlic before. We eat a lot of garlic, and it's one of those things that, being from up north, I just assumed everything got planted in the spring. It doesn't. Your garlic actually goes in the fall, overwinters, and then comes back in early summer. Well, it's ready for harvest in early summer. And so we planted these guys in November, which was late. We should have done them about in October. And then in January, we had a string of 70-degree days, and I thought, oh my gosh, we are totally screwed. But they seem to be doing great, and it's time to harvest them. And I thought it was going to be a few more weeks yet, because all I can see is, one or two brown leaves per plant, and the instructions on when to harvest say that you should have at least 2 dead leaves and a third one that's going. But then when I was actually in here weeding 2 days ago, I noticed that there are some really gross dead brown things at the bottom, which are former leaves. So all of these have 2 dead leaves on the bottom and a third one that is starting to go. And that is when harvest time happens. So the internet was kind of divided on how to get these out. Some of them said you could pull them up. Some of them said you could dig them up. I'm going to try to use my hands first, because this soil is potting soil in these raised beds. And I think that's going to give me a better feel for how far down they are. What you do not want to do is damage or bruise the bulb in any way, because that makes it liable to rot and things like that, and obviously not what we want. So while I'm getting my equipment ready, let me show you the screen that I have repurposed. I'm hoping it's going to work. So let me show you what I did to prep for that while I get my materials here. I need to see if the one window screen that we took out for his catio was going to suffice as a drying rack. Oh, that's quite a bit bigger than I remember. That's good. So what do we think? Do we think our copious amounts of garlic will all fit on that without it collapsing under the weight and without them touching each other? We'll find out. I need to rinse and dry this. Alright, let's see how this works. Just digging down next to it. I feel it. Alright. Ta-da! It smells garlicky. This is one of the medium-sized stalks, so I guess it makes sense that that's a medium-sized bulb. Feels nice and firm. So, the internet said to cut off the green part at the top. So I'm going to cut it up here for now. There we go. Put that in the box. What I'm using, by the way, for boxes, these are flats that our cat food came in, and last year I used them to harvest cherry tomatoes. I started using smaller containers, but at the height of cherry tomato season, they weren't big enough, and I also used these to ripen them in the house. They're incredibly useful and free. So when I drop them here out of sight on your camera, it's because I am putting them in the box. So let's keep going. These are obviously going to need to be washed, but they don't get washed for the curing process, just brushed off. So that's what we're going to do. So there's the second one. These things are so stalky. I wish we could use the greens for something, but I don't know that we can. So, and this, by the way, is more stem than I think we need. I figure I can trim it down. Ooh, that's garlicky. So if you've never done this before, as I have not, the internet says that the timing of when you pull them is important, because if you pull them too early, I mean, so they're always going to be edible, yeah? That's not the problem, but if you pull them too early, they won't store very well because they're not fully developed yet. And if you pull them too late, they won't store well because they're overdeveloped and the skins on the bulb are too thin and won't keep long term. So that's the problem that we are trying to counteract. Okay, back after a quick lunch and a look at the internet, and while most of the resources on the internet say that you can use garlic scapes, which are only on hardneck varieties, we don't have them here. They're like a little curly thing that comes up about a month before harvest. I think we could probably save the stalks, so I'm gonna save them. They're over in a pile behind me there on the corner of the clothes drying rack. I'm going to save them and see if we can freeze them. I might try putting some of them in the fridge, basically just see if all the things you can do with garlic scapes also work with the stalks of soft neck garlic. Most of the things say, oh, you can braid the soft neck garlic. I don't want to braid the soft neck garlic. I want to spread it out to dry. So we're going to see what happens. So the next project is to harvest this bed, which is also 100% garlic. There's no onions in there, and the problem is I need to actually take off the cover, the chicken wire cover that's been on there for months. So I'm going to do that first and then get to pulling them out. Let's have some garlic fun! Let me take you guys down and see what it looks like. I gotta say, this is pretty satisfying. Look at that. That is a mountain of garlic. That bed had a really good, how did you escape? Really good germination rate. I wish you guys could smell what I smell. They smell amazing. All right, and then, I see that's an onion. Really, the garlics are just these 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just these 6. Okay, top is off. I hope that I have done minimal damage to the onions. You can see they're all kind of flopped over, but I'm hoping they'll pick themselves back up. All right, so just reach in and just pull up, shake. We have garlic. All right, here we are with our pile of lovely things. I'm just picking them up, cutting the ends off over the bed over here, the roots. And then I'm cutting them a little bit higher than they need to be honest. Laying them here. And then these guys go over here. Process those in a minute. Garlic harvest complete. Not the processing, but the harvesting. So here is all the giant pile of leaves and tops. There is my greatly reduced box of stalks that I'm going to slice up and freeze probably. And then there is our harvest. So in total, there are 40, give or take, bulbs, which, given that they came from, I think, 6, maybe 10 originally, you know, we pulled them apart clove by clove, is pretty great. So I'm going to take this pile of stuff over to the brush pile. I've left the roots in the beds to go back and decompose there. And I'm going to take this stuff in the house, so I'll be with you in a few moments. Okay, friends, here we are. I've started processing the garlic, and yes, I believe the screen will work. I have put it over the middle of our drying rack so that it has as much support as possible because these are heavy. I'm having to trim down the stalks, which is fine. The internet said the stalks should be maybe about an inch or so, and I definitely left more than that when I was first cutting them. I might actually find it easier to stand them up. All right, so I'm going to stand up these, and then I'm just going to keep picking them out of here, and I'm cutting off the extras and scraping off all the dirt, and then putting them up here. Are you helping? He's had a day because Peter's been in his office all day and I was out working in the yard for a few hours, so he's got some I want to be near human urges going on. So this is what we look like. Let's move around, you guys can see. So in a few weeks, really when the creek don't rise, we will have some cured garlic. Gosh, it smells so good, you guys. It smells so good. Okay, friends, so I started processing the stalks and I wanted to catch you up on what I have discovered so far. So, this may have been obvious to all of you, and probably would have been obvious to me if I stopped to think about it, but having torn off each set of leaves, it still leaves a little crease on each one of these that has dirt inside it. Yuck. So, having washed, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them, I have decided on a slight change of plan. So I'm going to go through and rip off down to where this joins the main stalk so that I don't have to go folding all these back to wash them, and then I'll wash them and then I'll cut them. So I think it's time to start a little YouTube binge. Okay, so we are chucking away here at chopping up the garlic stalks. I gotta tell you all, I'm fading, but it's very satisfying. They're very fibrous, and so they make this really nice, satisfying crunching sound when I cut into them with our fabulous knife. And I'm just laying them out here. Everything smells like garlic. And I'm about maybe halfway through, maybe a little less than halfway. And I am getting caught up on all of my YouTubes. Ta 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 ta. I give you a baking sheet of garlic stems. Oh my gosh, you guys, and it smells so good. Of course, it won't smell so good once it's been in the freezer, but I just put this in and I'm really excited. And I have a second tray in our other freezer. Hopefully it will not attack me. There we go. So 2 full trays out of all of the stems. And we'll just have to see. We'll have to see what they do, what we can do with them. I really wish I had some pesto supplies available to make some pesto out of them, because I think that would be amazing. Well, let's film here, since this is back in action. Okay, so that's it for the Great Garlic Adventure. I am really excited. So the garlic should take 10 to 14 days to cure. And so I will check in with you guys and let you know what it looks like when it's cured. But for now, that's our first garlic harvest. 45 bulbs, 45 stems to put up, and much garlic in our future. So thank you so much for coming along on today's adventure. If you have suggestions on what to do with the garlic stalks, or with 45 heads of garlic that is not simply pesto, please drop your comments and recipes below, because we have a lot of garlic to use. I hope you guys are having a great night, and I will see you soon in my next video. Bye for now.